you're trading on the Australian Stock Exchange at this time,
Correct.
and you've gone from 3 cents to 52.
Yeah, we actually did 54 yesterday.
Okay, that was information. And what's your what's the symbol?
CPL.
CPL.
Yeah.
The next question is the one that I'm really interested in. With the environmental impact and the public's penchant, if you would, for protecting the environment, what do you think the chances are that your project could conceivably be stopped on that basis?
Well, here's what I'm sort of basing it on. I worked on the Cheviot project, and I saw what happened with Cheviot. It had its own issues and a long history. I've also tried to understand the situation at Coal Valley. Our project is more like the Coal Valley situation because Coal Valley right now is going to be mining right in this area here very shortly. We look at what they're doing, and we don't see much that would change as far as permitting requirements. The only thing that I would well, I know one thing that would be different is that the reclamation part of the permit would be a lot stricter. But is there a chance we could get stopped? You know, of course there's a chance, depending on what happens. But from a technical side, I don't see any kind of ball breaker that is going to do that right now. Okay. Well, thanks very much. And
For an idea, 4 million tons a year, how many train loads a day?
well,
One train a day.
the thing is, right now they're shipping about 10,000 tons of train load. You know.
Train a day.
Pardon?
A train a day
Yeah.
at 4 million.
Somewhere in there, which is doable.
Let's go into some papers or...
West Shore, the port in Vancouver, has all of Tex coal, and they're expanding, and now they're bringing coal in from Wyoming into Vancouver. There's a lot of other mines. Ridley, for the last 30 years, has been basically underused, and so we've been kind of focusing on Ridley and Prince Rupert. Thanks
And
very much.
if I can just add something before Gene concludes, and Gene and I sort of think the same way, but we approach it slightly different. What investors really want to know, and it doesn't matter whether it's a small investor wanting to buy 1,000 shares or an institutional investor wanting to buy 10 million shares, it's all the same question. When are you going to start generating positive cash flow, right? That's the question that's asked. So when Gene and I are out trying to raise money, we say at the end of 2010, 11, at the end of 2013, we should be producing coal. If everything goes well, if we've dotted I's, crossed T's, done all our planning, got all the permits in place, addressed all the public concerns, work backwards from that. Because if we plan on mining coal at the end of 2013, you don't go out in November 2013 and order a P&H 4100 shovel. You need to order that 14, 18 months before. You can get trucks in about 8 to 12 months, but no good having trucks without a shovel. Again, if you work backwards, if we plan on putting the first ton of coal through a plant at the end of 2013, you better be building your plant by the middle of 2012. So when you look at this capital that's got to be spent, this is not in 2013. This capital is going to have to be seriously spent and committed to in about 18 to 30 months. You don't buy a shovel and say, well, we'll pay after we produce coal. You know, they want money for the shovels, right? And what's a P&H 4100 out there?
30 million.
Yeah, 30 million bucks for one piece of loading equipment. They want some pretty serious down payments. So when you work at it backwards to when we want to start generating cash flow again, assuming everything has been taken care of and permitted, we got to start spending some pretty serious money at the end of 2001. Okay, just to give you the perspective on cash flow. And what I tell people who come by the office, when you look at the capital required, that 420 million US is spent before your first ton of coal comes out of the plant. This is not like we'll spend half and start producing coal, spend another half. It's 420 million bucks before the first ton comes out. Just a different perspective on